If we're going to win at life, we must learn to see things as they truly are. We must learn to see through God's eyes rather through the eyes of the world. When you see by the Spirit rather than by the flesh, by doing this, we will determine what creative energy we need to act and live. In order to see truth, we must develop our eyes of faith. The end of our earthly life is not really death on earth. We need a better perspective of our lives within the larger scheme of things. As humans, we tend to only think in terms of our own history and perhaps as far back as our great-grandparents. When we look forward, we struggle to grasp even a decade ahead and certainly not beyond the grave. So one of the things you want to do in life is to understand the perspective of who you are and where you are in the bigger scheme of things. So the first thing is to understand that eternity existed before time began and will do so when time stops existing. That even time and space are creations of God. And within that, human history is only a short portion of created history. Human history is thousands of years old. The universe may be billions of years old, depending on your view of creation. Let's not get into that one. But the fact is that we know God created, and within this enormous expanse that is unmeasurable, which is eternity. Remember, we can't measure it in years because time doesn't exist there. So God created, why did He create time and space? Because as humans, we can't live in any other reality. Because we are physical beings. Alright? But that ends too, and then we go into eternity with Him with what? Glorified bodies that can manage to live in that type of existence. The whole of human history is just a speck. If you look at your lifetime, in terms of human history, you're that little dot there somewhere. That the human history, the whole history of the world is defined by only one thing, and that is the cross. And we live post-cross. The Messiah has already come, and we live in the in-between time between His first and second coming, and then everything ends. But you are a speck. And now you take your 60 or 80 or 100 years that you live, with all the issues you face and difficulties, it is nothing. You are like grass. You're like mist in the morning, poof, and you're gone. Guys, anyone my age starts to realize how quickly life is. Our short and limited troubles, our short life and the hassles and the pain, the short life we have in Christ. How much shorter is life if you came to Christ late, in your 40s? Life, your life, that you have to live for Christ, in terms of eternity, is nothing. But from our focus, we only see so far back in history, and then now history is being changed. They're rewriting history to suit political aims. So even your history is no longer your history, uncertain about everything you've ever been taught about history. And you only can see as far as a few years ahead in your mind when we perceive difficulty, hassle, sickness. It's nothing in comparison to eternity. But from our perspective, we are enormously overcome by our circumstances. Whether it's your life that ends or Jesus coming again, the end is sooner than you think.